Let me see. Yeah, we're live.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Adebayo.
Hi, Grace.
Mr. Bayo GPT, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, what have you created in the past 3 days?
Well, I just uh, I'm just trying to recover from the Abuja experience. So I'm not
Tell us
getting fully into
tell
my
us
face.
about it. Tell us
Okay,
about
yeah.
the Abuja experience in
Oh yeah,
summary.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was great. Uh, you were a key part of it, right? I mean, it was a great time connecting with teachers all over Abuja, speaking at the conference, and yeah, it was a cool experience. I had a nice.
Mm, okay, that's beautiful. I mean, in many ways, it relates with why we're here and why we're having, this series. So the just for the benefit of our audience, the theme of the conference that we were at was building a sustainable career in teaching, and I'm happy the way the conversations, the part the conversations took, because before we would have a lot of complaints, so teachers would be saying things like, oh, I don't have the
Yeah,
time, I don't have the resources, I don't have this, I don't have that. But now more than ever before, we're seeing that those excuses don't hold water anymore, because we live in such our favorite phrase has become golden era.
yeah,
We live in
absolutely.
such a golden time that anything and everything is possible.
Mhm.
So for every challenge that we're facing in our classrooms, there's a solution for those challenges.
Mhm.
And all the constraints that we used to have, I'm not tech savvy, I'm not, I don't like technology, they don't exist anymore, because
Mhm.
thanks to the artificial intelligence
Yeah,
movement. Yeah, so we've had a number of these beyond conversations. We've had teachers join us on these webinars and actually create solutions. Yeah, so teachers are creating apps, they're creating solutions for their classrooms, because the people experiencing the challenges understand where the shoe pinches and can create the kinds of solutions tailored to their classrooms, their students, and the education sector in general. Because what I hope to see from all of this that we're doing is people actually realize, teachers actually realize, educators realize that there's no one coming to solve these problems for us in
Mhm.
the education sector. And we have all it takes. All it takes. So it's about asking ourselves the right question rather than falling back to the I can't do this. It's how can I do this? And once we start asking those questions, the answers are already available to us. So I've done my introduction, so I'll just let you take over from here and tell us what we're doing today.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. So I want to share my screen just in a moment, um, so we can get into this together. Okay. Yeah. Just one sec, and I'm going to be live. Oops. All right. For everyone that is here, there is online. Okay. Just tell us where you're joining from. Where is your stream? You can tell us your name. Tell us where you're joining from. Um, nice to connect with you. So yeah, welcome to CDev. CDev is teacher developer. You know, we've been having some very real conversations as regards the future of education, as regards the future of teaching as a profession. Many things. One of the things that we started this conversation was the fact that we recognize um, the new era that we are in, right? AI is a general purpose technology, right? If you've not heard that before, right? A general purpose technology, just like internet and just like electricity, right? Just imagine your life for the next 1 month without electricity. Just imagine your life for the next 1 month without internet, right? Internet connection. Just imagine what it looks like, right? Those are general purpose technologies, right? And so AI has also been categorized, right, as a general purpose technology. So you can imagine what that would look like, right? Yeah, it is capable of shaping society, right, in immense ways, in ways we cannot imagine. And so it is important. The same way when the internet came, so the last general purpose technology we experienced was internet. And when it came, unfortunately, most of us were not asking ourselves some questions. We're not asking the right question. We're not asking questions like, what is possible? What are the things that we can do with this technology? What are the things that we can create with this technology? The question was not tilting more towards what we could create, right? We're largely consumers. But in this new era, with this new general purpose technology, we are asking the right questions early enough, right? What is possible, right? When we talk about what is possible, there are a lot of things we are seeing today. For us in the education space, in Nigeria, in Africa, the possibilities is wide. The possibility is wide. And one of the possibilities is that teachers can now become creators, right? I'm not talking about creating digital product or creating worksheet, creating, that's not what I'm talking about. You know, in Bloomstar, we usually talk about low order thinking and low higher order thinking. So when it comes to AI too, there's low order usage and there's higher order usage, right? I'm not talking about those small things, right? We're talking about big stuffs, right? That you could create. We're looking at other industries, right? And we're seeing how AI is transforming everything, right? And we're looking at education. We're like, why should we not be experiencing that same dimension of transformation in the and just try to share my screen real quick, just a moment. So again, if you're just joining, whether you're joining from YouTube or from LinkedIn, please tell us your name and tell us where you're joining from. Yeah. And of course, to make the best of this session, make more of this session, it's advisable you join with your laptop. All right. Very important. If you want to enjoy this session very well, right? Because it's hands-on, it's practical, you should join with your laptop. Right. So if you have joined with your phone, this is a good time for you to switch to your laptop. That's very, very important. Okay. Just a moment. Trying to switch to my right. This is the best. Today is the beginning of the second half, right? If you're online, you are so fortunate because this is probably going to be the first webinar you attend in the second half of the year, and I bet it's going to be the best webinar you ever attended in 2026, right? So yeah, this is very strategic for you. All right. Uh, so I'm trying to share my screen now. You should open up any moment from now. Yeah, yeah. Grace, please confirm you can see my screen. I'm going to rely on you because I'm no longer. I've been taken out of the studio, but I know
Not yet.
not yet.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try that one more time. Okay, how about now?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, great, 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 great. Yeah, and of course, this is the first question I want to ask you. Right? You're listening, you're tuning in, you're a teacher, you're an education leader. I'm asking you, are you intelligent? Right? Are you intelligent? I mean, if I ask you this question, right? If I asked you like 3 years ago, if I asked you in the information era, that will appear to be like an insult. I mean, why would you be asking a teacher that are you intelligent? You know, that would sound like an insult, right? No, that shouldn't be, right? But in the intelligence age, right? That is not an insult because, first of all, the point is that intelligence has been redefined, right? What you perceive to be intelligence is no longer what it used to be, right? So let me do a very quick one, right? Being intelligent means that one, you know the machines, right? So if we talk about intelligence now, it means that firstly, right, you know the machines, you know AI, and you know what AI is capable of doing, right? And that you can work with AI to boost your activity personally, professionally, and in every wise, right? Intelligence are defined, right? So if we say, are you intelligent? What we are asking now is, do you know so well what it can do, what it cannot do, and do you know how to work with AI to boost your productivity at a personal level, at a professional level, and at every level, corporately and the likes, right? That is now the definition of intelligence, right? Because as it stands right now, we have two categories of humans. We have people that are still actively in the information age, whilst we are in the intelligent age, right? And you can know because in the intelligent age, right, there are some things that we don't say, right? You don't say, I don't know. Like, the reason why I can't do this is because I don't know. That statement is a statement of the information age, not a statement of the intelligent age. Because in the intelligent age, we understand that our knowledge gaps have majorly been closed in the tool called generative AI. So the answer to I don't know, that knowledge gap is available, can be closed within seconds. You just need to ask. So you can say I don't know, right? So you can see two different words now, right? Just think about that. Just think about that. Think about the fact that you can no longer say I don't know. That's a serious and a massive mind shift, right? You can no longer say I don't know. You can no longer say that, right? That is one hallmark of intelligent age. So again, are you intelligent? Right? Means do you know AI so well? What they can do, what they cannot do, and are you able to work with it to boost your productivity first at a personal level and then professionally and in every wise? That is the new definition of intelligence. Now, I haven't talked about that, right? I haven't talked about that. Let's get into this. So, in this era, right, intelligent teachers are evolving. Right? Intelligent teachers are evolving, right? Because when you think about your role, what
AI must change learning. AI must change K to 16 learning. I think this is one of the biggest opportunity for humanity in the next decade to come. The most precious resource of our entire world is human capital. And when we have gotten a technology that can answer standardized tests, whether it's a common core kind of test all the way to international Olympiad math exams, when AI can do better than average human, it's not about humans are bad. It's about we need to change the education system. We need to change how we evaluate. We need to change the way we empower teachers to teach, educate the next generation of students where they can use these tools, be empowered, and do things that we can never imagine.
So do you think our kids will still learn?
Absolutely. If we teach them right, if the society prepares them right, all of the kids today should not be scared of AI. They should feel the human agency to lead AI, to use AI in the right way, and to use AI to make the impact that they want to make.
All right, so can you hear that? All right, so intelligent teachers are evolving. All right, as an intelligent teacher, you already know what AI can do today, and so your relevance in the space is tied to your evolution. If you don't evolve, you lose relevance. All right, you will lose relevance. If you still want to be relevant within the space, within the education space, right, you need to evolve. And there's that question of what can I become, right? I'm passionate about education, right? I want to evolve, right? What can I become within the education space, right? You can evolve from a teacher to a creator, right? To an innovator. And this whole conversation is about showing you an example of what that looks like, right? You can become a developer, right? So we call it the developer, right? You can become that person that builds unique solutions. In the internet age, right, teachers could never dream, right, of becoming edtech founders or building digital solutions, right? Teachers could never, right, because there were technical gaps, technical barriers, right? You to be able to build apps or stuff like that, you needed to learn coding, right? If you don't understand coding, you can't, right? You needed to learn many things about product development, front end, back end, those dynamics, UI, UX. You need to learn all those things, all right? But fortunately, we are now in an era where those things have become simplified, where those things have become simplified. And so the intelligent teacher can be a developer. A pathway has been created. A pathway. I'm saying this to you, if you are, this is the first of July, right? If you are listening to this call, blessed are, blessed are yes, because they are hearing these things, right? A new pathway has been created. A new pipeline has been created for you to evolve, right? So in the intelligent age, what we are going to see is that we're going to see a generation of innovators who are teachers. It didn't happen in the internet age when the last general purpose came, but it's going to happen in this age with this new general purpose technology because some barriers have been lifted. All right, so intelligent teachers are evolving, right?
People working anywhere in the world, born anywhere in the world, can create a product and make it available to anyone in the world. The most used messaging in Southeast Asia was built by a young man born in Ukraine who moved to the US. And the three most popular viral games in the US in recent years came from entrepreneurs in Finland, Ireland, and Vietnam. You're the ones building the next Google, the next Spotify, the next Tesla, the next, well, we don't even know that matters. It didn't matter where you come from or what your background is. One revolutionary idea, one brilliant invention can unleash other entrepreneurs to revolutionize industries in ways.
All right, this is your invitation into the world of creative problem solving, right? Like I mentioned earlier, in the internet age, most of the tools that were built, right, were not built by teachers, right? In fact, teachers, right, could never dream of building such tools, right? So most of the tools we built, most of the tools that teachers use were built by people that weren't really educators, right? Were built by people that didn't really understand the pain, what we were going through in the system, right? But like I said, a new pathway has been established, right? There is a shift. As a teacher, you can evolve to become an innovator. You can learn these things in quite a very simple and unique way, right? And you can automatically become a TDev, a teacher developer, right? So in the next few minutes, I'm going to take you through a journey, right? I'm going to show you through an example of what it means, all right, as a problem solver to look at a problem and then say, oh, there is this particular problem, and then I'm going to build a tool that can solve. I'm going to take that's what I do most of the time, right? That's really my default, right? So I'm going to show you an example because in the last few weeks, right, we didn't do it on LinkedIn, we did it on Google Meets. We started to bring this to LinkedIn today, right? We've done a number of things with some teachers. And by the way, if you're a teacher on this call and you are joining with your laptop, right, you can please comment laptop. Please comment laptop in the comment section so that we can bring you into the studio so that you can do the demo session, right? We need a teacher for the demo session. If you're a teacher, if you're on the call, and you are joining with your laptop, kindly comment laptop, right? Comment laptop so that we can bring you in, all right? So this pre-cohort webinar is your invitation, right? It is a call to you. It's a call to you into the world of creative problem solving, right? This is a journey that you're about to start. And if you stay on that journey, it's going to transform your career forever, right? Because you will no longer be a teacher, right? You are switching into a domain. And I must warn you, it's an expensive domain. What you are trying to do is that you are trying to boost your economic value, right? The domain you're about to enter into is a domain that is very expensive. I must warn you, all right? Very expensive because what you are saying is that you want to boost your economic value. What you are saying, you don't want to be just a teacher, that you want to be a teacher developer, all right? That's the journey that you're about to enter into. So this is your invitation, right, into the world of creative problem solving using technology, right? So let's get into it. Now, you have used tools like Kahoot, Wayground, Quizlet, iExcel, and the likes. Now it's time to build yours. Now it's time to build yours. Now it's time to build yours. Now it's time to build yours, right? Like I mentioned earlier, right? The technical barrier has been lifted, the knowledge gap has been closed. The question is if you are ready, right? The question is, are you ready? Are you ready for this transformation? Are you ready to build, right? It is possible. And this world you're about to enter into, right, is a world with a worldwide world of possibilities. The possibilities are endless. The possibilities are endless. The possibilities are, again, please, if you're a teacher, if you're joining with your laptop, kindly comment laptop so that we can bring you in into the call. That's very important. Okay, so I'm going to drop the link here. Yeah, so I just dropped the link. Uh, so let me put it as well on LinkedIn so you can join us in the studio. Yeah, hi Grace, are you there? I hope you can see hear me. I hope I'm still very audible. Okay, so I just dropped the link. I just dropped the link on LinkedIn as well. Right. You can join us in the studio. If you are joined with your laptop, if you are on with your laptop, please join us in the studio. So you can do this demo with us. All right. You don't want to miss out. I think it's a very big opportunity for you. You'll be the one doing the demo with us on the call today. All right. So please join us in the studio. Let's have you in the studio. Um, let's have you in the studio so you can run this demo with us. Right. The link is on the screen. Yeah. We can only allow two people to join in. After two persons, we're going to lock the room. Yeah. All right. You can join us in the studio. The link is right there in the chat section. Oh, yeah. Who is ready for this experience? We are gonna be building. Who is ready for this experience? Okay. Yeah. Now it's time to build us, right? Um. So we need someone in the room so we can. Oh, all right. I'm gonna let you in. Oh, yeah. I see. Yeah. So Grace, I think you're in now. Sorry about that.
I'm over muted.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I got a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have anyone joining
Not yet. Not
the
yet.
studio?
Not yet. So I'm going to keep maybe in the next 3 to 5 minutes. If we don't find someone that can do the demo for us, we'll just take it up, right?
Okay,
We'll just move
that's
on.
fine.
Yeah. All right. So you have used many tools, right? You have used many tools, and sometimes you know what your learners are going through. Sometimes because you don't have any option, you just have to use these tools, right? But we are entering into what I call the creative age of teaching, the golden age of teaching, the creative age of teaching, right? Teachers are going to be more creative than ever, right? And that way you can actually build the tools that you use in your classroom, right? You can build the tools, right? You know the pedagogical challenges, right? You know the learning struggles, right? And there are different kind of tools that you can actually build to engage your learners. Again, I'm saying that the possibilities are endless, right? It's just very endless. The possibilities very endless, right? So we're in an era where teachers right, need to put on their creative cap and understand that the technical barrier has been lifted, the knowledge gap has been closed, right? It's a question of choice. Are you willing to step forward, right? And this domain we are talking about here is a very expensive domain. What you are saying is that you want to become expensive. You see, let me tell you something. If you're a teacher, if you're listening, right, and if you're thinking about relevance, if you're thinking about being expensive in this era, this is your pathway, right? This is your call, right? This is the answer to your prayers, right? This domain is what gives you relevance in this era, right? This domain that we're talking about, trying to push you to, is what will give you relevance in this era. Please, okay, so again, if you're on the call, if you can hear me, if you're joined with your laptop, please, um, the link is in the chat section. Just click the link and join us in the studio. We want to do a demo session with you. Now, we started a creative journey, right? Most teachers know generative AI tools, like ChatGPT, Gemini, right? These tools are wonderful and they are great, right? But how about if you build your own ChatGPT? How about if you build your own, Gemini and the likes? They are like vending machines. Like you put a prompt in, you get a text or you get an image out, right? And the machine instantly forgets you, right? And then you remain just a consumer, right? For many teachers, they're using ChatGPT and Gemini, Claude and these tools. That's your story. You are likely just a consumer. But there's a bigger reality, the new reality, which is agentic AI, right? An agentic AI is like an executive assistant, right? It doesn't just write text, it has a memory, it guards your privacy. A possibility is that even with a passcode, right? It runs complex tasks on autopilot, like even building your own apps or managing your own professional brand while you rest. Okay, it moves you from a passive user to a real creator, right? Beyond generative AI that you're very familiar with, there's a bigger reality, which is agentic AI. And that is the level where you build something like an executive assistant, right? Something that can do a lot of tasks for you. Because when I think about the teaching profession, right, there's a problem. I said I'm going to take you on a journey of problem solving, right? This thing I've discovered with teachers, right? If you ask teachers today, right, do you have a documentation of your success stories in the last 3 months? I bet you less than 5% of teachers will say yes. Like, do you have a documentation of your success stories in the last 5 months? I am seeing a generation of teachers who don't have a solid footprint and yet complain about not accessing better opportunities. Right? If I like enter your name on Google right now, pram, what do I see? What's your footprint like? Right? And I understand the struggle, right? So when it comes to journaling, when it comes to visibility, when it comes to exposure, right? When it comes to motivation, these are real big problems for teachers, right? And because there is this cognitive apathy, right? There's this strive, like I don't even have time to sit down and think about this thing. Like I am done for, I am famished, right? Cognitive apathy that you can't even sit to think, right? And to put this together. So that's a big problem. It's a big problem that can haunt your future and your relevance in the profession. Just think about it. It's a big problem for teachers today. If you won't be where you are today in the next one, in the next 2 years, right? These four things I mentioned are very important: journaling, visibility, and motivation, right? Because most of the tools you find out there. Now, this is me walking you through a problem solving journey. I have just identified a problem. And what's that problem? It's cognitive apathy. Cognitive apathy for teachers, in the sense that those four areas I mentioned, teachers struggle with it, right? Journaling, visibility, exposure, and motivation, right? Because it requires some sort of cognitive effort, right, to put all of that together. Because you have a lot to do and you need to move on with your life and family and many things too as well. So there's that problem. Now, on the call today, we are going to be building together an agent that is going to take care of all those four things, right? On this call, we're going to be building an agent that's going to take care of all those four things. How about if you build an agent, an app that helps you take care of all those four areas, so that you can then become more productive? So that in the next 3 months, when we ask you for your footprint, when we ask for your journaling, when we ask for your success stories, you can show us something so that you can also stay motivated, right? That's what we're going to be doing shortly. And before we get into that, I need to quickly show you this data, right? As I done, right, 2026, right, what we're seeing is that 26% of global population, right, use AI. 26%, that's 2.1 billion. Now, out of this 26%, right, only 50 million people pay for AI. Only 50 million people pay for AI. That's 0.6% of global population. And the third one, only 5 to 10 million people build AI systems. Grace, what do you think about this number? Do you agree with it?
Of course I agree with it, because if I look within my circle, in 100 of us, I know the number of people that have built anything with AI. So
Hmm,
yeah, it's correct, and it's very concerning at the same time,
hmm,
because it just shows the wide gap between, just passive users and consumers, like you're saying, and those actually using it to create. And in the
hmm.
next couple years, we'll see the vast difference between those two classes of people. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see between those two classes of people. Very powerful point. Very powerful point. And that's why we are stepping forward to say it doesn't have to be like that, right? This same thing happened when the internet came, right? That history doesn't have to repeat itself again, right? This can actually be changed. This can actually be changed. Again, if you're a teacher on the call listening to us, we want you to join us in the studio so that you can experience this firsthand, right? We have moved, right? So where do you stand, right? Like I told you earlier, if you are going to be experienced in this era, this is the if you do not learn how to build with AI, right, you are going to be left behind, right? You are going to be cheapened. If you do not learn how to build with AI, you are going to you are going to be left behind. Not intelligent. That's why we started by defining what being intelligent is. Being intelligent is, right? So let's get into this, right? Now, I'm going to talk about the components of this agent that we're about to build. Again, I am taking you on a problem-solving journey. I am showing you an example, right, of what it means, right, to be a problem solver, right? Design thinking is the framework behind what we are doing right now. Design thinking. And design thinking starts with empathy, right? Design thinking is a global framework for problem solving, for creating value. And it starts with empathy, right? Paying attention to the pain, to the needs of people, right? And I started by talking about teachers and this particular struggle, which is the cognitive apathy, right? And then I narrow it down to four different areas. That's a problem for teachers today that can determine their relevance in the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years, right? That's a problem that needs to be solved. And right here on this call, we want to go through the process of building an agent, like an executive assistant, that can solve that problem for teachers, right? We will address motivation issues for teachers. It will address journaling. It will address visibility, and it will also address exposure for teachers, right? Now, this agent is going to have four parts, like you will find with every agent, right? There are four layers, right? There is the brain, what you call the intellect, right? There has to be a brain behind the agent. So the brain of the agent is what thinks for the agent, right? You are not there. Remember, it's like an executive assistant, right? Imagine if you have an executive assistant, right? The person has a brain, right? Aha. Just think about it as a person. The person has a brain. The person can think, right? You don't think for your assistant. Your assistant will think for him or herself and deliver the result, right? So this agent has a brain, right? And in this case, the brain that we are leveraging is going to be Grok, G-R-O-Q, not G-R-O-K, not the Grok of what's his name, of the richest man in the world that you know, right? This is quite different. We'll talk about that, right? The agent has a character, just like the same way a physical assistant, right? Executive assistant will have a character, has a character, right? Then it has a local storage. What is like a vault? That's a local storage, and then it has an interface, right? An interface. You log into your agent, you see an interface, everything is structured and arranged. There is an interface. There's a local storage so that everything you do over time, whenever you come back, you see there, right? There's a local storage, right? So the agents we're about to build, and let me quickly say this: in the world of agentic AI, in the world of building agents, the possibilities are endless. Let me lay that foundation so you don't think that this is all. This is just one of the simple things that can happen in the agentic AI realm, right? This is just one of the simple things that can happen when you step away from generative AI into the world of agentic AI. When you step into the world of building with AI, this is one of the simple things that can happen, right? That allows you to begin to build your own apps, your own agents that works with you and that works for you. All right. So we are going to get into that journey real quick. So yeah, since we don't have someone again, final call, right? In the next 2 minutes, if you are a teacher, if you're on this call and you are joining with your laptop, uh, please join us on the studio. You can comment laptop, right? Let me share the link again, right? We don't have time. We don't have time on this call. We need to move. So I've just shared the link again, right? For you to join us in the studio, right? You can please join us in the studio right now. You have just 1-2 minutes to do that, because we are about to get into the real stuff. We're about to get into practicals, right? And as we get into that, right, I need to mention, right, because there's a whole world of prompt engineering about what we're getting into, right? There are three classes of prompts, right? There is task-oriented prompt, there is process-oriented prompt, and there is system-oriented prompt. What most teachers are probably familiar with is task-oriented, right? Create this lesson plan, build this image, create that, create this, right? Mostly task-oriented, right? Most teachers are familiar with that, right? But beyond task-oriented prompt is what we call process-oriented prompt. Now that is broader, right? That is broader. You are giving AI the responsibility, right, of following a process, right? This involves multiple tasks combined together. Task oriented has to do with just one thing, right? Get it done for me. But when you go beyond one thing and then you are combining many tasks together, right? You are instructing AI to combine many tasks together. You are establishing a process. You are establishing a workflow, right? And AI has to put that together and execute that, right? That is a process-oriented prompt, right? At the task-oriented prompt level, you find Gen AI there. When it gets into process-oriented, you find both Gen AI and agentic AI at that level, right? But beyond even process-oriented, right, is what we call systems-oriented prompt. That is talking about a prompt that can literally describe a full system from start to finish, from end to end, right? A prompt that can define a full system. So today we talk about natural language processing in the sense that you can actually build a prompt. By the time you understand what building a system is, by the time you have that domain understanding and expertise, and you understand what the system is all about, you can actually create a prompt, right, that analyzes a full system, and you are taking that prompt to an agent, right, to build that system for you, right? So there are three classes of prompt, right? And it's a journey in that regard, right? So you are very familiar with task oriented, but beyond that is process oriented and systems oriented, which takes you to the next level, right? When you begin to think about building stuffs, building solutions, and not just playing with generative AI and ChatGPT and the like, right? And you want to do that using natural language processing, right? You'll be relating more with process-oriented and systems-oriented prompt, right? So what you are going to see very shortly on the screen is going to be a bunch of process-oriented and system-oriented prompts. You will find task-oriented prompts there, but what you will see is more of process and systems oriented prompts, right? I hope that makes sense. All right, so Grace, we're going to get into this. Um, Let me stop sharing my screen. So you can open. Um, you can remember I said earlier that when you're trying to build an agent, it has four parts. There is the brain, right? There's the character, there's the vault, and there's the interface, right? And I said in this case, in the case of the kind of app we're trying to build for teachers, the productivity app, right? The brain is going to be Grok, right? You'll learn more about that later, right? Now, I need to describe the character. I need to describe how the local storage is going to function. I need to also describe how what the interface will look like. Now, I am going to build a system prompt that is going to describe these three areas. And of course, the system prompt will also explain the connection to the brain, right? We don't have all day to really get into this, right? Yeah. But basically, the system prompt is going to describe how this app and this agent we're about to build is going to function. All right. So yeah, Grace, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Uh, and then yeah, and then I'd like to share yours. I'd like to share yours. Okay, great, great. All right. Yeah. So for our audience, if you're following us, right, what we're going to do, right, the agent that we're working with to build this app is going to be lovable, right? There are different kind of agents. There's lovable, there's replit, there's versal, there's causal, there's quite a whole lot of them, right? But for the sake of this demonstration, we're going to be using lovable to build this particular agent, right? And so we're going to be inserting a system prompt, right, into lovable. Now you know the classes of prompt, right? You know what the system prompt is all about. It's all about describing a full system end to end, right? Touching every layer, every part, from the logging in to the interface and to every part of this particular app. All right. We're going to show. Yeah. Grace, confirm. Do you see system prompts? I want to share with you.
I'll need you to share with me.
Okay. I'm doing that right away.
Where are you sharing it to?
On this call here,
Okay.
on this call here. So because it's a system prompt, we expect there's going to be very wide, right? Because it needs to describe every key part of what we're about to do, right? For you as a teacher, one of the things that this program we are creating is going to do for you is going to immerse you into the world of systems, right? You get to understand, the product development dynamics, right? What does a product look like? What are the components? What are the parts? The full system end to end. What does it look like, right? You get to understand it so that when you understand it, right, when you are building, for example, a system prompt, right, to build your own solution, you're doing it the right way. Okay, so just a moment. Um, the prompt will start going in. Okay. All right, so I'll share the first part now. So there's some. Oh, maybe I should just share it. Okay. Uh,
Pardon?
okay. Okay, just a second. Here's the message for those on the call. Yeah, chat. Okay. One sec, one sec, one sec. Yeah. Okay. So what's happening here? Okay. So the space. So Grace, I think we have an issue here, and it's the fact that
Okay.
because why we did this on Google Meet had no space to take like the whole of everything in there. But a little bit of issue with space we have in the studio here. You probably can take it. Here's how. If I want to put this in an email for you to copy and paste, what mail do I send it to?
Grace Amoka.
Okay. So I'm sending to yeah. Copy that. Copy that.
Have you sent?
On it. So when I do for try and see if you can share it. If you can share it on the on LinkedIn for those that are joining, right? Because then after this, the people are going to be asking for, what's the prompt, and all of that.
So I don't think the chat on LinkedIn will be able to carry that ball.
Carry to, yeah. Okay. So yes, here's the final thing I'm going to do now. Yeah, API request through. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. So just look out for it. Yes. Cool. So the next part.
Are you sending in everything at once, or you're breaking
Yeah,
them?
that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to send in everything at once.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then all right, in less than a minute, you will land in your mail.
Already.
All right. Okay. Great. So yeah, sent. Yeah, message sent.
Okay.
Right. So again, for our audience, we are using Lovable to build this particular agent, right? This particular executive assistant for teachers. And yeah, we are pulling the power prompt, sorry, system prompt, right, into Lovable, right? I believe now you understand what the system prompt is and what it does and how it works, right? So using a system prompt to actually build this particular solution here, right? Yeah. So
I'm going back to sharing my screen, and then I'll go to Lovable
sure.
and paste. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
How about now?
Let me check. Okay. I think, yeah, just a second. Yes, now let me open it. Yeah, correct, correct.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah,
So
it's visible.
I've pasted the prompts, the system prompts that you shared,
Yeah,
and I'm going to enter and see the magic it does.
yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna give you some time to build and to create this agent. We're gonna see how this agent actually works. But remember, we did mention that the critical part of this agent is the brain, right? The critical part of this agent is the brain, right? And we mentioned that in this case, right, the brain is going to be blocked, right? This brain is going to be responsible for thinking, right? It's going to be responsible for thinking. Yeah. So Grace, if you have, so we've come to Grok, but we need to copy the API key. And what the API key does is to establish a connection between this agent we're about to build, right, and the brain itself. Okay. So Grace, if you saved any of your API key somewhere, you can copy from there. Uh,
Okay, I was just thinking of doing it for the benefit of those that.
yeah, sure.
Okay,
So
so
it's supposed to be a secret stuff, right? So you can
okay, okay, I
yeah,
get
so
it.
you can stop sharing while you generate the code. But of course, the process to come here, when you come to Grok, maybe I'll put the link for Grok, console.grok.com, right? For those that may want to like generate the API keys from Grok, right? So console, let me put it here, grok.com. Yeah. So if you go to console.grok.com, when you sign up, right? Yeah. So when you sign up, and then we'll show you what should gray screen, and then you're able to like go to the part of generating. So Grace, if you have copied the API key somewhere, then you can share your screen again so I will show them how to copy the API key.
Okay. Can you see my screen? I'm sharing it already.
Okay, let me get it back. Yeah, so it's back. All right. So you're looking at if you're looking at Grace's screen, you discover that when you sign into console.grok.com, right, you will create an account, right? Yeah, you create an account. And when you create an account, at the top right side, you see playground, you see API keys, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then when you click API keys, it brings you here. And then you see create API key, exactly. Thank you, Grace. And then when you click create API, right, when you open it, you can click it, Grace. It's going to ask you to name it and all that. Then, robot stuff, no expiration, that's fine. Uh, and then once you are done filling those two parts, then you can go ahead with creating the API key. Once you click create API key, the next thing it will show is the API key, right? So you just copy it and save it, or you can save it, in your inbox, in your notepad or something. Just save that API key somewhere, right? Um, yeah, but so you can close and let's go back to Lovable. All right, so Lovable has created something for us, right? Um, and we are going to look at it together, right? Lovable has created something for us, and we are going to be running through that shortly. Yeah. So here's what it looks like, right? So this is remember where we started the conversion from. We're trying to build an executive assistant for that problem of cognitive apathy, right? So that can boost their motivation, be more visible, have solid journaling, and have industrial job time, right? So here's what it looks like. So Grace, let's try to jump on it. Try to sign in and try to create your passcode, right? Again, remember that the possibilities are endless, right? I created it to look like this, right? You might be hungry for something that looks more than this, right? Yeah, so you see full name, your passcode. So this passcode is going to be very important because anytime you want to get into this agent, you're going to need a passcode to log in, right? Okay, so let's connect workspace. Great. Now, this is, so if you're following us, right, it should bring you to this point, right? And then the next thing you want to do is, right now, this thing cannot think, right? It cannot think. It can't do any thinking because the brain has not been connected. So the next thing we want to do right now is connect the brain. So Grace, let's connect the brain. Yeah, let's connect the brain. So you see there's this settings icon by the top right side that allows you to connect. Yeah. So you drop the API key and then save. Okay. So now we have connected this agent to it, but this agent can think now. Remember I talked about the four key parts. So this is the user interface. And then you see mindset for you see brand architect, you see legacy journal, and then you see try navigator. Right about those four problems for teachers, right? Let's look at how we solve the problem, right? Let's say, for example, you want motivation a particular morning, and you come to this agent, right? And it's going to ask you, right? How do you feel? Do you feel drained? Do you feel? Are you feeling visionary? Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling ambitious? Right. So, Grace, you can do a quick demo.
Let's say we're feeling visionary, then we'll synthesize perspective.
Let's see what it says. So, if you say you're feeling visionary, here's something it has for you, right? So, Grace, you can read and tell me what you think.
All right. So it says, as a visionary, you embody the unyielding spirit of Imhotep, the ancient Egyptian polymath who defied conventions to design the majestic step pyramid of Djoser. Your mind is akin to the vibrant markets of Timbuktu, where scholars and traders once converged to exchange ideas that shaped the course of human history. The wisdom of Ubuntu, an African philosophy that underscores the interconnectedness of all things, resonates deeply within you. You are the modern embodiment of the Dogon, people's celestial wisdom, who mapped the heavens with uncanny precision long before the advent of modern astronomy. Your vision is a testament to the boundless potential that flickers with the intent of 1,000 suns. Now, design a framework that weaves together the threads of innovation, community, and cosmic awareness to create a beacon of hope for a world in perpetual evolution.
Okay, I think I lost Grace for a moment. Grace, can you see me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, great. Of course, for someone that is really, again, this is, I provided the system prompt, right? By the time we get into analyzing these components of this whole thing and how we respond, you can choose to say you want it to respond in a particular way. Remember, I mentioned earlier that the possibilities are endless, right? But of course, for someone feeling visionary, right, this seems like something good to read on a Monday morning, on a Tuesday morning, anytime, right? Again, this addresses the part of motivation, right? You could open this app any morning, right, or any time, any evening, whatever day and time, right? The question is, how are you feeling? Drained, visionary, frustrated, right? Or let's try frustrated and let's see what it says.
So, in the heart of ancient Axum, a young Ethiopian philosopher king named Ezana once pondered the mysteries of the universe, seeking wisdom to guide his people.
I think I lost Grace again.
Path to critical thinking and problem solving. Embracing this fusion of global knowledge, Ezana transformed his kingdom, fostering a culture of innovation and resilience that would endure for centuries. His legacy serves as a testament to the boundless potential that arises when diverse perspectives converge and the human spirit is fueled by an insatiable quest for wisdom. Now, redesign the blueprint of your own mind and construct a fortress of unshakable resolve.
Okay, how does that sound?
It sounds it sounds pumped, like this guy, go, 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 you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Again. I built the system from this for this, and I wanted it to sound like this, right? I mean, in your context, you could change something or tweak it because of your personality, because of how you actually want it to support you, right? So it could happen in so many ways. Yeah, I'm sorry for those that are trying to join now. It's quite late, so we can't bring you in. But of course, you can watch the recording, and then we can also provide the system prompt, right? So that you can then use that to do your demo for yourself, right? Because of time. Okay. So and one thing we need to do, Grace, before we go. So here is the app, right? Very functional. And there you go. You can log out on the top right, and you can get back in. And then the last thing you need to do to make this very functional is to publish it, right? So at the top, yeah, just publish. So when you click publish, uh, continue, and then you can just follow the prompt. Yeah, continue at the bottom. Yeah, finally continue again. Yeah, new, and then once it's done, you have your life. You have your app live and functional, right? You have it live and functional, and you can start using it right from tomorrow, right? And this is going to be your productivity surge, right? Let's before we go, let's experiment with the trend navigator, right? The trend navigator. Oh, oh, by the way, well, let's check out the brand architect, right? That's you don't know what to post on LinkedIn, or you don't know what to post on Instagram, right? Again, the cognitive apathy, you are stranded, you are tired, you're finished, right? Start saying that an idea of what you have in mind, and I will build something for you. That's what this assistant is saying, right? So, Grace, can you give me something and see what it builds?
um
All right. So let's see what it says. So for a LinkedIn post, see what it says. As an educator, I found myself at the forefront of a pressing challenge: overcrowded classroom. I like that one now. It says the eagerness to learn is palpable, yet the sheer number of students can hinder the personalized attention each deserves. I've experimented with various approaches, but the results have been underwhelming. It's time to rethink our strategies and explore innovative solutions. What methods have you found effective in managing large classrooms while fostering a nurturing environment for critical thinking and problem solving? let's discuss and share experiences to create a better future for our students.
So I don't know if, I mean, for those who are listening, if you remember when I was filling my profile and it had asked about my philosophy of education, I mentioned something about critical thinking and problem solving. So what it is doing is it's bringing this, critical element and fusing into what I want to achieve.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So in your describing or dumping your raw thoughts, it could be a question, it could be a reflection, it could be, I mean, as raw as it gets, a challenge you experience in your classroom that day. Like literally just dump it in the most basic form, and then it turns it into gold for you. Yeah.
And then uh, there's the Grace. I hope you still have the music app we built.
Yeah, yes, I should.
Yes, we should. No, of course, it will be unlovable,
I
of course. So we just open that one, and then we're not creating. We'll just open it and just for the sake of the early years educators that may be here and want to see another magic,
yeah.
right? So yeah, um, we just built a productivity app for you, right? So the thing of I don't know what to post on LinkedIn, I don't know what to post on Instagram. Your executive assistant will take care of it for you, right? Even down to your journaling, it documents your success stories, right? So for me, I thought about that problem and solving it for teachers, and that led me to building that tool. And so I'm putting it right in your face. What are you going to build? What are you going to? I've just shown you a possibility, right? And like I said earlier, this is one of the simplest things that can happen in the world of agentic AI. It's a possibility. It can happen, right? And now I'm challenging you to say, what are you going to build, right? And that's why this program that we have created, the TDEF, the Teacher Innovator Program, is all about empowering you and guiding you to step right into that domain where you are no longer a teacher, you are now a teacher developer. You are creating real solutions for real needs within your space. So the second thing we built, right, and this is for early years teachers, right? This is a tool that allows you to create original music that can spice up your classes and your learning, right? So Grace is going to share her screen, and then we're going to do.
Am I sharing Lovable or Suno? Was it where's
So,
the
I think let's start. So from Lovable, we're not building. You built it already, right? So we're not building. So you can just open it on Lovable. You can open it on Lovable, and then we'll use it, take what we get from it, and take to Suno. Yeah. So here's the app right here. You can see we've done the building and all of that, right? Again, there was a system prompt that was responsible for building this app, right? There was a system prompt. Now, what this app does for you is that as an early years teacher, you are probably not musically inclined, right? You're not a music professional, right? But actually, that doesn't stop you from creating original songs that speaks to different contexts in your classroom, right? There's a topic that your learners are working on. You can actually create a song for that topic, right? That fosters the learning experience, that makes it more interesting and more engaging for your learners, especially for those that work with those in the preschool category. Let's have a taste of what it looks like. Okay, so let's go. What are we teaching today or doing? Can anybody give us in the chat section?
okay, that should be interesting.
So let's see if someone is alive to give us something. So in the chat section, we want to build an original music, right? And of course, that you can use in your classroom, right? So tell us something you are teaching or doing. Tell us something you're teaching or doing in the chat section. Be very specific. All right, let's see if we have something in a minute or we'll just take it up in the studio. Anybody?
Okay, maybe to save our time, let me just share. Let me.
Please go ahead.
Um, now my brain is frozen. I can't even think of anything.
So what are we teaching or doing? So again, it doesn't have to be teaching. It can be doing. So let's say we're trying to learn two-letter words, right?
Okay. Okay.
Now
Read.
it's asking for the reading. Under the reading part, there are different kinds of reading here. There's amapiano. So I'm sorry if you don't know what that means, right? But how do I describe that to teachers now? Let's see the drop down.
So there's West African High Life,
Yeah.
Afrobeat Playground,
Yeah.
acoustic folk,
Let's
storytime, and
let's leave it
standard.
at amapiano, right? And then the energy draws. What kind of energy do you want here? Uh, is it like so? On the drop down, we have three categories. Is it the kind of song that they're going to do early in the morning, or is it a song that they want to do when they want to nap, when they want to sleep, or so what kind of energy? Is it low? Is it mid? Is it high? That kind of thing, right? But let's just make it high for now, right? So the pedagogical mode, right? So Grace, you can select a suitable one.
Which one are we? I think. Which one are we going for?
I think conceptual fact learning is fine, right? Conceptual and fact learning, and then yeah, call and response is okay as well. Yeah,
Okay.
and for the keywords, we can add like 5 to 6 two-letter words.
Okay. Due
Yeah,
to
I think that this particular one, this particular tool, I think that we share it for free with the audience, right? Maybe you can publish and
Okay.
let's share it so that they can play with it.
Okay.
The first one we built is a personal app. So do so we be go. So let's forge
All right.
and let's see what it generates. Okay, so we have the lyrics, right? And then it also gives us style. Now, this lyrics is what we are then going to take. So there's an app that generates music. It's an AI app that generates music, right? And the name is Suno AI, right? So Grace is going to take us there, so that we're going to put the lyrics there, and then we're also going to put the style as well, right? Because you need the lyrics and you need the style of the music for it to generate the music for you. So Grace, let's go there.
Let me know if you can see the.
Yeah, I can see Suno.
Okay.
Yeah, it's loading. So there's a lyrics part there. You can actually edit this one. You can edit this one.
This one here.
Yeah, you can edit it.
Okay. Then let me. What's I don't
Right,
remember
yeah.
the. All right. So we create.
All right, so let's create and let's see what the music is like. So Grace, while you're trying to create, you can publish the app and send the link for those on LinkedIn so they can have it. Actually, for the earliest teachers so they can play with it.
Okay. Next time. What's going on?
Okay,
Can you hear?
Yeah, you can play again. Oh my God.
We learn to read, it's fun to do. We learn to read, it's fun to do. We go to school to learn and be. We go to school to learn and be. We read and write with letters too, like do and do, and we and go. It's fun to learn with you. Let's move our bodies one by one. We're learning.
This was the counting one before.
Okay, the counting one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I mean, again, so Grace, you can share the link to the app. So
Okay.
yeah. So teachers can play with it. So if you teach early years, I think this app is particularly going to be very useful for you. You can have songs for different learning experiences, for different expressions. So it just allows you to beautify the whole thing that happens in your classroom, right? It allows you to bring a lot of energy and a lot of magic into your classroom, right? So we are going to be wrapping up, and so Grace, I'm going to put the links. Where are they? Yeah. All right. Let me see. Studio.
I'm not able to drop a chat. Why is that?
Well, I can
Okay, I'll
see.
just drop it under the LinkedIn post.
Yeah, sure, it works. It works.
Oh, so you better yourself see me dancing.
Exactly. Right.
Oh, and Adib Bowali said, "Great, my boy started dancing at the sound of the beats."
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just a little of the magic you can create with.
Yeah. So have you dropped the link to Lovable App? That's the song creator. The song creator app. Okay, so you can't. Oh, I see. Um, fine. We'll find a way to share it, to drop it on LinkedIn, maybe after now, when we are done and
Yes.
all of that. All right. Again, welcome to this wide world of possibilities. So, Grace is going to wrap it up. I'm sharing the link for those that want to sign up and the QR code on screen, Grace.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adebayo Alumaja, and thank you everyone. If you were with us live, and if you're watching the replay, I hope that, I mean, beyond everything, I hope this has inspired you to want to explore. This is like, imagine when you went to primary school and they were teaching you 1, 2, 3, and ABC. This is literally like 1, 2, 3, and ABC. Imagine what you'll be able to do with this. What's things you'll be able to create. I mean, there's just endless possibilities of what you can do with these systems. Yeah. So we have the T-Dev starting next week. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. I'm so excited. And it's going to be an immersive time where we're going to go in depth. So all these things Mr. Alomaja is saying, oh, so you drop the prompts, you do this, you do that, and in your mind you're wondering, prompts from where did you get it from? And all of these things. The other tools that are available for you to use, a lot of them are open source, yeah, and that you can use freely. So he's going to show you all of these things. How do you publish it and share it with people? How can you monetize it? Because that's also important. We're not just doing these things for fancy. We're saying, how do we take over an entire sector? So we're going to be together for one whole month. Imagine what we're able to do in a few hours. We're going to be together for one whole month for the TDEV. We have a product, what's the product
Product
Kilompe?
development. Product development.
Product development
Yes.
is always going to be with us, to just help us see how these things work and how we can be part of this ecosystem. You don't want a case of 5 years time. You are now wondering, and I had this opportunity, oh yeah. So, um, Mr. Adomaja has posted the link for you to sign up. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. I will be in class. Mr. Adebayo will be in class as well. And we have another phenomenal person as well joining us. We're going to have other educators that are interested in this. And it's just going to be a fantastic time of learning, growing, and building, most importantly. So it's not talk, talk, talk. You're going to do the work. And you are literally going to become a superstar. I mean, just be ready that your life from next week is going to be totally transformed. You're going to have access to the three of us. So, whatever challenges you face,
Oh, yeah, I think we lost Grace for a moment. Hi, Grace. Can you hear me? Uh, Internet issues, I guess. All right. All right. I think I'll take you. I think I'll take you from there. Yeah. 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 Okay. That's fine. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for staying this far. Just like Grace was saying, right? The program is starting, right? Very shortly, and then you have a special opportunity. I mean, because you're on this call, right? So actually get a 40% discount, right? This discount is going to be open for the next 24 hours, right? Yeah, it's going to be open for the next 24 hours. You can visit the link that you have right there, seller.com/tdef_2026, right? For more details on the payment, and then for the 40% discount, you have use the code TDEV, TDEV uppercase, right, to access the 40% discount. This program grants you entrance into an expensive domain. Like I said at the beginning, right? If you want to be expensive in this new era, right? I talked about it earlier. Intelligent teachers are evolving, right? If you want to be expensive in this new era, you need to know what AI is, what it's capable of, and how to use it to boost your productivity personally and at a corporate level, right? You need to be able to do that to be relevant and to be expensive in this era. This is the 1st of July, the first day of the second half of the year, and this is a rare opportunity, right? A very rare opportunity for you to supercharge your career in the education space, for you to stand out in the midst of the crowd, right? It's a very cheap opportunity, right? The price is very just internally because you have an opportunity um, to join the train, right? A very, very opportunity to join the train. So the train is going to move this weekend. This discount code only runs for the next 24 hours. And of course, feel free to reach out to me or to Grace on LinkedIn if you want more information, if you want more details. Feel free to reach out to us on LinkedIn. We're happy to respond to you. The train is going to move this weekend, all right? And do ensure that you are a part of it and you do not miss out on this transformational experience, right? For those that join later, you can watch the what's it called, the recording. And of course, we'll try to make for the app that we built earlier. Remember, we use Lovable and we use Grok, right? The system prompt is going to be made available, right? I will share the link to the system prompt on LinkedIn, so you can have it document. You can have it, and you can use that to do your own experiment on Lovable and build your own executive assistant, right? And see what it looks like. Okay. And then when you get into the program, we'll now delve into it, right? How you can actually build your own that is more customized, right? And even take it to the next level, right? Okay. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for your time, right? It was nice having you on the call for those that joined. So do well to sign the code, sign up, reach out to us, and let us hear from you. So thank you, everyone. This will wrap it up for the day.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, Grace. Thank you so much. Yeah. Bye, everyone.